Alright everybody, we're back to the Beneath the Surface Challenge regional host and referee training video, part 2. Now this one is primarily for the referee. And notice that I put the board, the mat is out on the board, the mission objects have been laid out on the board. I'm going to pan to your left here and notice that on certain mission objects you're going to see the DL lettering. That means that you guys need to dual lock those mission objects, and the dual lock was provided with you guys. You cut the dual lock to size, and you're just going to put two pieces, the top and the bottom together, and dual lock those in positions. I'm going to quickly go around the board and explain which ones get dual locked. So right here, the boulder push gets dual locked. We'll move to the left, and the water trough base gets dual locked. We're going to come all the way around up here to the boulder drop. The boulder drop gets dual locked. This little object here in the middle gets dual locked. Coming over to the boulder push, it gets dual locked. We'll keep coming over. We'll come over to the clear debris, and the base section gets dual locked. After that, the roller gets placed on top of it. We'll come over here to the down and dirty mission object. That one gets dual locked. We will move forward to this object here, and notice the color. The dual lock goes on the cream color, just like that. And the last mission object to get dual locked is the sinkhole over in this corner. So those items I just mentioned all get dual locked. The remaining items on the board just get placed on the outline, and the robot will act on them accordingly. So right now we're in the safe zone, and I need to clarify the area of the safe zone. We had a few Q&A questions from teams. So the safe zone is this black line here to the wall and across the wall. That's 15 inches square, and that is considered a safe zone. The teams may handle their robot inside the safe zone. Objects, like say an arm that's elevated, may hang outside the black line, but any part of the robot, and on this one I'm using today, the two tires, the ball here, touch the mat, and also this little red Lego over here touches the mat. So any object of the robot that touches the mat must stay within the border of the safe zone. Stay within the black line border. It can hang over as long as it doesn't touch. If you load, say, the cart, you put it in there and it's loaded, notice how the rubber tires and the Lego here touches the mat, but the red Lego extends above and does not touch. So as long as any object that the robot controls, the items that touch the mat must stay within the black line of the safe zone. Anything that is elevated and not touching can extend outside the safe zone without penalty. Okay? So as long as we're talking about areas, we're going to go over to your left to the rock storage area. And notice how there's 3 rings, the green, yellow, and white. And there's a black line around the green, a black line around the yellow, and a black line around the white area. So for scoring purposes, when a mission object is put into that area, and this goes for every other area to include the silver mine, gold mine, the lake, the tight squeeze, and there's several others. Anytime an area has a color and bordered by a black line, the black line is considered part of the color. So for the storage, the rock storage area, this black line, outer black line, if the object, I want to do it so you can see a little better over here. If the object is touching the black line, it is considered in that area, that target area. And then also for scoring, some of the scorings are elevated in point value. As you touch the inner ring, you get the inner color. So you touch the inner black line, it's considered yellow. You touch the interior black line, it's considered white. So just know that every area on the mat has an interior area and a border that consists of a black line, and that bordering black line is considered part of that area for scoring, for being considered in the safe zone, being considered outside the safe zone, and so on. Okay? So that should answer a couple of Q&A questions that a few of the teams had throughout the season. All right, now we're going to go back to the safe zone. And real quickly, I'm going to go around the board, starting at the safe zone, and show you where mission objects should start at the beginning of the match. So at the beginning of the match, we have the cart, we have the waterfall, we have the spider, we have the fish, we have the silver mission object, 2 gold mission objects, a diamond, 2 small pieces of coal, 1 large piece of coal. Now, there are additional mission objects that the teams can bring to the table. Your kit supplied you with 2 minifigs. But the missions, there are 2 missions that you can do that have a total of 4 minifigs. So teams may bring 4 minifigs to the board to use at their discretion. Just remember to take your minifigs home with you, because at the start of the match, there will be no minifigs on the table for you to use. Each team is responsible to bring their own minifigs. All right, we'll put him back here. All right, so I just showed you at the start of the match the mission objects that are in the safe zone. Let's pan clockwise around, and we're going to come over here to the rock storage. You see rock number 2. You see mineral. You see the boulder bush. You see the water trough base, which is dual locked, and the water trough section, which is movable. We have the silver mine ring. We have a mineral. We have the underwater lake. We have the tight squeeze target area. I forgot to bring the quad for the platform for this video, so I'm using my container top. We've got a quad here. So under the quad is this entire area here, and on top of the quad is up here. I have my rock number 1. Coming over to the blue quartz missions. Remember, there are 3 panels, 1 blue, 2 cream. The referees will randomly place these 3 panels on the outline of the mat. So referees from match to match, round to round, will change the order. So you may, the teams may show up and it's in a cream, blue, cream configuration. You may move the blue and switch to this configuration or this configuration. Teams should prepare how to approach this mission before they show up for the tournament. The referee will change them around. The next mission object is this. It's basically a rock that's dual locked down for an obstacle. Then we come up to the boulder drop with the flag in the upward position. One of the Q&A questions I had was for the silver mine and the artifact. So the referees should take the artifact and place it just like this, flat on the surface, or that way, flat on the surface, and put it on the outline. It is the responsibility of teams and the referees to make sure that the artifact is placed in the silver mines ring, just like that. If it's in a different position or configuration, like the one question was, could it be like this? And I'm going to tell you it could be like this, but the referee and team members should place it flat and place it in the ring at the start of the match. Okay? The next one we have on to the right here, we've got our rock number 3. We're going to come up to the boulder shift mission object. We've got another mineral. We've got our clear debris, the base, and the roller. Coming around, we've got the coal mine. We've got the down and dirty. We've got rock number 5. And the diamond mine, which is a target area with different values for each ring. Coming over, we've got our waterfall, our stalactite, stalagmite waterfall. And notice that there's the ring for the waterfall mission object and the spider web for the spider mission object. We've got our mineral over here, followed by our sinkhole, which notice there are 3 flowers. The sinkhole should be positioned with the panel roughly level to the floor or to the mat, and place the 3 flowers on the panel. Okay. You may not be able to see in the video, but we have another mineral here, rock number 4, and the dual locked rock over here. So those are all the mission objects that we have. Now to help teams and referees, I have a couple documents. So the head referee should review the general rules. The head referee should review the beneath the surface mission and rules document. And when I say the referee, the teams also should know the general rules and the beneath the surface mission and rules document. Okay? The next thing is a document that is out there for the referees and team members that shows the starting and scoring position. It's a document with a bunch of pictures that shows where the mission object starts and what it looks like when it scores. It has every mission object listed in a scoring position, starting position. So it is a very good tool for you to use for both the referee and the team members. Another document that the referees and the teams need is the scoring the quad platform. If you plan on the robot climbing onto the quad platform, this document shows you what it means as far as the drive source wheels on a robot and the non-drive wheels, and how it needs to be placed or climb onto the quad for a score. Okay? Preferably your robot is completely on top of the quad and then there's no problems. A couple other questions over the years that have come up. Touch penalties. I created a document that tells the referee and the students, the team members, what happens during the match when the touch penalty. So this document basically explains that if the referee assesses a touch penalty on a team for touching the robot outside the safe zone, the steps that take place for the robot and the referee to continue with the match. I've got some prep work. So you're at your tournament, and this is the actions before the match starts document. So this document basically tells the referee to reset the mission objects. It tells the students to review the reset of the mission objects. It also instructs the referee on what to help the students with as they prepare and get ready for the start of the match. Okay? One thing when the match starts, it does not stop. So I want to point that out. And another thing, every tournament I go to, at least 1 or 2 teams will show up at the tournament with a piece of paper. In other words, they've got a list or notes to tell the students what mission to run at what time. Teams are not allowed to bring a piece of paper, phone, a tablet, any other device to the table to help with the running of the robot during the match. The only items the students are allowed to bring to the match is the robot, attachments, and other Lego constructed items to help with the running of the robot and delivery of mission objects throughout the match. There's no other device, no remote control, no other electronic device, no piece of paper to help the kids at the table. That is what practice is for. You go through this stuff at practice. All right? The other thing that the referees will use is the tablet. In the tablet, each board will have its own tablet so that the referee can score the match. Should there be a problem at your tournament with the Wi-Fi or something, there will be paper documents to score by paper. But just know that the tournaments are designed so that the tablet will record the scoring of the match. It gets uploaded to the cloud, and parents, students, teachers, everybody in attendance can gain access to the score of that match in real time. Okay? All right. So the next thing we're going to do is the documents. We've gone over the documents and the placement of the mission objects at the start of the match. All right. The one thing, and I'm going to come around, so leave the camera where it's at. There's going to be a chair called the extension of safe zone. Many times the chair is a folding chair and maybe a desk, but many times the host will bring you guys a chair. When the students approach the table, they can take that chair and use it as they wish. Push it to the side, push it left or right, or even remove it as they wish. Okay? So that is called the extension of safe zone. The robot attachments and other items can be placed in that area out of the way during the match. Referees also need to make sure that when students are at the table, only 2 students are at the table. If there are additional students on the team, they need to stand a minimum of 5 feet away from the table. Students can tag in and out throughout the match, but there needs to be room for the students to work the board and the referee to monitor the action of the robot. So just make sure the team members stand back at least 5, if not 10 feet back. If there are additional items that team members have, like say an attachment, an arm, or something else, they should all be stored on the extension of safe zone. They should not be stored on the floor because that is a trip hazard. We don't need anybody getting hurt. Don't want anybody stepping on a robot and breaking it. So make sure that anything that the students, the team bring to the table is either on the table or on the extension of safe zone. Okay? The next thing we're going to go over is the students ready. The students got their robot in the safe zone. They're ready to start the match. The referee's going to give a thumbs up. When all teams are ready, the timekeeper will say go. The clock will run for 3 minutes. It does not stop. It runs continuously for 3 minutes. If the team member calls time, the referee will record the time remaining on the clock on the score sheet. But once the clock starts, it does not stop. Okay? So at this time, 3 minutes worth of time, students are going to go out there, they're going to manipulate, activate, maneuver different objects around the board. And so real quick, I'm going to place items in scoring positions for the referee to score. And some of these items, just listen to me as I talk because I like to ramble. But just some of these items will be in scoring positions, some of them will not. And to help the referees make good decisions on what scores and what don't, we're just going to place these items and I will explain how they score. Okay. I'm almost there. Again, the scoring of these objects, there is the document that has all the pictures that will show you how they score, where they score. So your team can review these items as they need to. And I'm almost there, folks. Couple more items, and we'll go. All right. So I am done setting things up. Now, at the end of 3 minutes, or if a team member calls time, the referee's going to grab the tablet and he's going to start scoring. So the objects that score in the safe zone are the minerals. And the first 5 objects are the minerals. So this one's completely in, completely in on the black line, partially in, and not in. So the team receives 1, 2, 3, 4 scores for being in the safe zone, and a 5th one for being outside the safe zone. Right. There's also the score for the artifact in the safe zone. Now we're going to pan over to the rock storage. There's 5 mission objects. So 1, 2, 3 are completely in and score. Number 4 is partially in and scores. Number 5 is not in. So the team receives 4 scores, 1, 2, 3, 4 for points, and 0 points for the one outside. The next mission object is the boulder push. And I want to demonstrate it real quick. So the team pushed the blue-yellow down. If the blue-yellow flap is in the downward position, they receive a score. The next one is the water trough. The team must program the robot to push the water trough section under the base. And as long as this little black finger crosses this black line, the team receives a score. So referees, if it's like this, there's no score. But once it crosses the black line, they receive a score. All right. The next mission object is at the saltpeter mine, and that's the yellow cart. If the cart is outside the ring, there's no score. Partially in, score. Completely in, score. All right, we're going to move up to the tight squeeze target area. And this one's kind of hard. So you have the opportunity to score 2 minifigs. And if you do it just right, you can receive a partial score or a complete score for each minifig separately. So we're going to take my orange-headed minifig, and we're going to place him right here. We're going to take my green-headed minifig and place him right here. So right now, the green-headed one is completely in the gray and receives a score for being completely in the gray. The orange-headed one is half or partially in the brown and partially in the white, so it receives a partial score for being in white. Each ring has a different point value, and each minifig receives a separate point value, whether it's completely in or partially in. If for some reason the minifig is outside the gray, there's no score for that one at all. But just know that point value increases as the minifig goes up. And the referee has a choice of either partially gray, completely gray, partially brown, completely brown, partially white, completely white to score that. The next one is the gold for underneath the quad. So the area to score for underneath the quad for the referee is the entire gray area under the quad platform. So just place the gold mission object underneath and you receive a score. Take the second one if you wish and put it on top of the quad, and the referee will score that one for being on top of the quad. You can also receive a score for the robot being on top of the quad. So follow the drive source rule. Drive source is these tires. As long as the drive source is on top and no robot part of the robot's touching, you receive a score. The robot, once it's on top, can be right side up, on its side, upside down, it doesn't matter, but it must touch the quad. But gold that's on top of the quad must touch the surface of the quad to score. Okay? We're going to pan over now to the blue quartz. So the referees will score this. Is the blue panel moved? So at start, it's on here. And as long as you nudge it so that it's off the mark, it can be nudged a very little or completely knocked over, you receive a score. However, if your robot moves either one of the gray ones, even though you move the blue one, if you move either one of the cream panels, you receive a 0 score for that one. All right. So we will go to the next mission object, which is the boulder drop. And this one here, the green arm, the arm with the green flag must be pushed down so you get your score. All right, we're going to move over to the silver mine. The silver mine mission object here, piece of silver, is not in, partially in, completely in, or a score. Now we're going to move to the boulder shift. The boulder shift starts here, and as long as the team takes the arm and the green flag is the part that if it touches the red, so in other words, if it's above it or to the right of it, you receive a score. So teams must program their robot to take the arm and push it to the right, and the green Lego is a scoring Lego. As long as the green Lego is above the red line or to the right of the red line, the team receives a score. And the next one, clear debris. This one teams have to watch. So referees, teams are not allowed to destroy this. So let's say that the robot takes this off its mark. That's considered destroyed. If the robot takes the roller off the base, that's considered destroyed. So in both those cases, there's no score. But teams must program their robot to roll. The black axle is a scoring Lego. The black axle must go past the red line. So as long as any part of the black axle is above or to the right of the red line, the team receives a score. All right, the next one is the coal mine. And there's 3 objects to score here. 2 small pieces of coal, 1 large piece of coal. All right, and so what we're going to do here is we got 1 piece of coal that's in the ring, 1 piece of coal that's partially in the ring, and then we've got our black one, that's the 2x4 Lego. This one, if you read the mission, has to be above the ring and cannot touch the mat. So it is not allowed to touch the mat. So teams have to find a way to deliver this big Lego, this big coal Lego, to the coal mine in such a way that it does not touch. Referees will always look from above, looking down, to see if the Lego is in the ring or not. So let's assume, for argument's sake, that the Lego, all 3 of these score because one, the large one is off the mat, and these 2 are partially and completely in the mat, or in the ring. Okay? So just know all 3 score. The next thing we're going to do is the down and dirty. And you need 2 minifigs to do the down and dirty. And there's a black line. As long as the minifig crosses the black line, it is considered under. So the robot can push that completely under or partially under the score. The other way to score is to have the minifig on top. And there's ways to deliver it so that the minifig is completely on top. It can hang over. And there may be a chance that your robot delivers it. And let's see if I can do it here. I did it a few minutes ago. It's hanging over in a way that's teetering like a teeter-totter. As long as the minifig is on top but does not touch the mat, you receive a score for being on top of the down and dirty base. Okay? The next mission object we're going to go to is right in front of us.
and it's the stalagmite waterfall. And you have to deliver the mission object, the waterfall mission object, to the ring. And that's a partially or completely. As long as the waterfall is over that small ring, partially or completely, you score. And then the same with the spider. You deliver the spider to the web, the referees give you a score as long as the spider is partially or completely over part of that web. The next mission object we're going to score is the diamond mine. The teams will deliver the diamond out to one of the rings, the gray, the brown, or the white. As long as it touches the bordering line, you get the score for that color. Highest value is in the middle. Okay? And the last mission object out here is the sinkhole. And when it starts, you've got flowers that are on top of the plate. And all three should be on top. The robot must push that down, and as long as all three of the flowers are touching the mat, you score. So there is a potential that you could have this down here like this, and one's elevated off the mat. If the referee feels that one of the flowers is elevated off the mat because it's trapped against the flat on the sinkhole, you won't get the score. The flowers, all three must touch the mat. Okay? So I think I've gone over everything. Referees, a lot of this stuff is a yes, no question. There are a few counting mission objects. Yes, I probably need to go over touch penalties. Let's do the touch penalty real quick. I'm going to set them out and move everything to the side. So the minerals are the 5 different colors you see. The referees will place one mineral on each location across the mat that says minerals. They are randomly placed. Doesn't matter what color goes on what position. Just know that they are, those 5 mission objects are randomly placed across the mat. So, these minerals are the touch penalties. A team has the robot and it runs. It goes out, and for some reason, a team member touches the robot. The referee assesses a touch penalty. The team has to restart the robot. The westernmost, pan over here to the right. The westernmost is what the referee will take first for the first touch penalty. All right? Team member comes out here and he's trying to deliver silver for whatever. Comes out here and he touches the robot. The referee takes the mission object and places it on the mat where the touch occurred. The team restarts and the referee takes the second mineral for the second touch penalty. Okay? The referee will work his way from the west wall to the east wall. So another touch occurs, the robot goes back, referee takes another mineral. Robot goes out a 4th time, student touches it, goes start back in safe zone, referee takes the 4th mineral. And then the robot runs a 5th time, student touches it, the referee takes the 5th mineral. So all 5 minerals are taken as touch penalties. One of the things to consider when the referee assesses touch penalties, the minerals are taken from the west wall to the east wall. Okay, so let's just say, for some reason, that the robot goes out and pushes this yellow mineral. The robot does this, pushes the yellow mineral to this location and loses control. The team sends the robot out a 2nd time, touches the robot, the referee assesses a touch penalty, students start over in a safe zone. The westernmost mineral is now the black one. So the referee takes the black one, the yellow one stays there. The other thing to consider, the robot goes out and it brings back a mineral to the safe zone, no penalties. Robot goes out, brings back the yellow one to the safe zone, no penalties. Robot goes out, delivers the spider, but the student picks up the robot and gets charged a touch penalty. Well, the robot restarts, but the referee is going to take one of the yellow mineral here, because there's no mineral over here to the west. Moving towards the east, this yellow mineral is the next closest one. So the referee, even though you got it in the safe zone, will take the mineral as a touch penalty, leaving the green one in the safe zone and the other two minerals over here to the right. So just know that as the team is assessed touch penalties, the referee will start to the left, to the west wall, and then move back to the east wall. And the referee can take touch penalties, the minerals that are in the safe zone. So that pretty much concludes what I've got to here. I am going to say that there are some videos, some documents that team members and the referees need to review before tournament day. Sometimes I think the more information I create creates more chaos, but because people keep asking for information, I keep creating documents and other stuff with the intention of helping both the students, the coaches, and the referees as they score. So if you do have any questions about the referee training video, this is available to both the team members and the referees. So make sure you post a question on the Q&A, which is found on the page with the missions document and all that other stuff. Just post the Q&A and I will respond and give an answer usually within 48 hours of when it's posted. All right, thank you for watching this. Keep on practicing.